Painting rock isn't that hard, but doing it fast and keeping it nice looking, that's a bit tricky. Because if you want to paint a lot of rock for your bases or some large terrain pieces, it can take a lot of time and effort. Well, welcome on this very first episode of Clemoniak's Basics. And today, I'm about to show you how to get a detailed rock with just 5 paint and no washes. Quick and easy. So, today's basic will be about my favorite paint scheme for rock, the grey stone. I really like this scheme, because the neutral tone of grey never clashes too much with anything around it. Thanks to that, it makes a great base for any kind of stone-made element. By the way, with this method you don't necessarily need more than one brush. The only paint I'll use here are the following 4. But feel free to use any of your alternatives. We'll be working over a sprayed undercoat of black, making it a total of 5 paint used. Since we're not using any washes, the process will be even faster. No drying time between steps. For today's example, I'll be painting a hand-sculpted foam rock, but as mentioned, this method works on anything stone-made. So, on that note, let's paint! Let's start with a first dry brush of Mechanicus Standard Grey all over the rock. You can go heavy on this one step, since it's the base for the next highlights. For the rock, the black undercoat will naturally form the dark recesses. Once you're done with the Mechanicus Grey, move on to the domed stone. We'll dry brush it all over the model again, but this time avoiding the recesses. To build up a smooth highlight, use circular motion on the exposed areas, but use straight motion for the edges. Next, we'll dry brush Administratum Grey a bit more lightly than the previous step. This time, use straight motion to cover the most prominent part, focusing mostly on the edges, but also give it a softer pass over the exposed surfaces to keep building the highlight. The final step will be Corax White, applied only on the sharpest edges. Make sure to scrap almost all of the paint off your brush to avoid an overly bright highlight. If you ever find that your highlight is too strong, you can tone it down by gently dabbing over it with a bit of Mechanicus Standard Grey. Here, we quickly achieve a detailed looking rock with only dry brushing, and this same paint scheme works for all of your rock's needs. As previously mentioned, it's a solid base for stone elements. Here are some examples of where I've used it alongside other elements and paints. Here, a sculpted foam sea rock for an aquatic battlefield. As you can see, the rock's neutral tone complements well with the cold water and warm sand. Here another example of small rocks painted this way, used as basing bait for my Beastman Shaman, where it blends naturally with the grassy base. And the last example shows you how I use it for a dead giant terrain feature. I simply added mud and grasses to the base to make it fit any forest or plain battle map. That's all for this first episode of Clemoniak's Basics. I hope this helps some of you to figure out to paint some nice looking rock. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like and drop a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future topics. And remember that any kind of support is really appreciated. Alright, that's all for today. Farewell everyone, it was Clemoniak and I see you next time.